there's a message here for you. So stand by, starting broadcast on YouTube. Aloha and welcome everyone once again for another beautiful, exciting, magical, synchronistic day of Inspirational Teen Tarot readings. My name is Brendan, aka Mystic Spider-Man, Skull Babylon, and thank you so much for joining in once again. We are live on YouTube, on Twitch, on TikTok, on Instagram, and we'll be getting things rolling in the next moment here. And for any of you who are tuned in on any of the platforms, please feel free to leave some comments, drop an 1111 in the chat. Let me know that you guys are ready for our first reading. We're going to start off with the Lightworker Oracle deck. And again, just for a quick introduction for those of you who may be new to this, I do these live broadcasts every Monday to Friday at 11 a.m. EDT, and the intention of this broadcast is a multitude. It's to be able to tap into the collective wisdom of the universe, to be able to bring some inspiration into this moment that will be able to support and nurture our spirits as light guardians, as light workers, as shifters, of those of us who are here to be able to help shift consciousness and to assist you on your personal journey of awakening. So as we get things ready here, again, what we'll do, we'll just go through a consecutive series of readings, and I'll stay on for maybe, I'm not entirely sure, maybe like an hour, maybe 2 hours. We'll see how the flow goes. And with these, if you guys are tuned in, again, all the readings we do are for the collective, but if you would like to be able to receive an on-air live reading, that option is available for you by contributing on PayPal or joining on my Patreon. The contribution on PayPal, it's a $5 contribution, but if you guys want to send over a little bit more, that helps fuel the broadcast and it goes right into paying it forward. And if you guys want to join on Patreon, that's a monthly membership there, and that's where you can join further within our community of conscious creators. And we got some upcoming exclusive events on the regular. That said, tomorrow, Saturday, September 11th, 11 a.m. EDT, is actually our Dream Discussion Circle. So super excited about that one. So again, if you guys haven't already yet, feel free to take a look at my Patreon and see what tiers resonate with you. And support from there helps support these broadcasts, supports the community, supports myself, Lacey, the family that we're growing, our baby still to come. And again, it also helps support you on your journey. So think of it as an investment for yourself. So again, this is an invitation for you guys to be able to connect further with a pretty awesome team that we've been growing here over the years. So with that said, I'll just get things rolling. And again, shout out to those of you who may be watching this in the future. And with each reading that we do, we set the intention, show us what we need to see. So we'll do a quick little meditation here. And again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, please feel free to drop an 1111 in the chat if you guys are ready for this reading. Stick around. And again, if you are on TikTok and Instagram, I would invite you to join in on YouTube. Click the link on my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. So you'll click that link and then right through there goes to my beacons. It says live on YouTube. Click that link on YouTube and you guys can join there. And yeah, make sure you're subscribed and you'll be able to jump back in for future broadcasts that we do. And again, we're live here Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. EDT. So working towards our Patreon goal of 111, we're currently at 102. Thank you to our recent supporters, to Samira, to Kimberly, to Andrea, and yeah, let's get right into our first reading. So again, if you guys are tuned in here, if you guys are ready for this first reading, let me know. Drop an 1111 in the chat, and we'll do a quick little meditation where we just drop into our heart space, drop into gratitude, and then we'll do some wizard magic, set the intention, show us what we need to see, and then from there we will split the deck. And again, all the cards that we have are for all the readings that we do, they're for whoever happens to be tuned in. So there's a lot of synchronicity that takes place during these broadcasts. Like honestly, if you guys are new, like those of you on TikTok, if you're new, if this is your first time, put a 333 in the chat. That way so I can just become more familiar with your usernames. And yeah, every time we do this, there's always some like really cool synchronistic messages. So let's get right into it, and we'll keep an eye open for any contributions on PayPal and Patreon as we go, but we'll just focus in on this first reading. So we got things all in place. We are good to go. And thank you again, everyone, so much for joining in. So let's get ready to do this. So again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile, join in on YouTube when you're ready, and inviting everyone to just take part in this quick little meditation as we pull our first card. So for everybody here, if you guys are ready, go ahead and gently close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, just allow yourself to connect with your breath. Soft, gentle inhale, soft, gentle exhale. Just arriving into the space of gratitude. Gratitude for yourself, for the community, for the team, for the messages we are here to receive. And with gratitude in your heart, we'll focus on the intention. Show us what we need to see. So everybody here, feel free to just meditate on this with us. Show us what we need to see. Show us what we need to see for the individual, for the collective, for the community. And as you focus on that intention, imagine it shooting up like a beam of light up into the heavens, bringing in the wisdom of the stars. So speak that intention, show us what we need to see. Speak it with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. Continue to take a few breaths here. Just allow yourself to just be in that heart space. Your energy makes a difference for this reading. So thank you again, everyone. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes, return your awareness to the space around you, and I'll do a little bit of some wizard flowetry and we shall split the deck. So here we go. And so as the sun shines upon you this day, I am so grateful for us to be here so that we can play, so that we can discover the messages that are meant for you and me, so that we can continue to unlock the new ways for us to see. For the eyes do not see this world all by itself. It is through the heart that you shall realize how to reveal the truth of your true self. And so as the magic continues to unfold, let us pick a card and see what messages we have to be able to help support us on this infinite goal. And we split the deck. And the card is pulled. Beautiful. Wonderful. Oh, this is a good card to be able to start off with. So all right, so the first card that we have pulled for anybody who happens to be tuned in right now, this message is for you. The first card that we have pulled is card number 25, Merkaba Spiritual Protection. Card number 35, Merkaba Spiritual Protection. And so again, this is an oracle deck. So we do have like a tarot deck. We have a few decks that we use, and this is a card from the oracle deck, from the Lightworker oracle deck. So give me 2 seconds here. We'll open up the book. We'll talk a little bit about the image of the card. We'll read from the book, and then I'll channel some additional inspiration for you guys. We'll keep things going here, and again, as we do this, we'll keep an eye open for any contributions on PayPal and on Patreon. So if you guys are fans of my work and you guys just want to be able to help support, but you also want to be able to get an on-air reading and help facilitate that reading, go ahead, click the link in my profile. You can send over a little bit of a donation on PayPal, and if you guys want to do a little bit of a pay it forward method, that will help fuel the ongoing readings through the broadcast. And again, definitely check out the Patreon when you get a chance, especially if you're looking to be able to connect with a really awesome community of conscious creators. So let's dive into this reading. So for everybody here, again, this reading is for you. And as we do this, if there's anything I say that resonates, drop an 1111 in the chat, and feel free to even just kind of like chat amongst each other as we do this. So just gonna like literally just like explain the visual image here on the card. And again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, this is where I would highly recommend joining on YouTube. Click the link in my profile, tune on YouTube, because that's where like the primary camera is right now, but I'll show between both. So card number 25, Merkaba Spiritual Protection. So very, very, very beautiful image here, very intricate image. And again, just explaining it literally here, we have this image of this woman and just sitting there meditating with this beautiful energy field emanating from her. You can see there's like this beautiful like glowing orb around her. And I don't even know how to explain what's on the side. Like it kind of like looks like wings, but it's not wings, but it's kind of like this like beautiful kind of like rippling energy. And again, the scenery itself is incredibly majestic. Again, you can see this like super kind of it's very, very, very intense actually. This like floating head off in the distance. And again, I'm just explaining it literally. So again, we have this like beautiful kind of like higher like connection with the higher self, so to speak. And this beautiful stream of water. And then on the left and the right, you can actually see these like old buildings, very much like kind of like remnant of Atlantis, if you kind of look at it that way. Hey, sweet Jeanette, thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for the follow on Twitch as well. So again, just literally explaining it. Beautiful colors here, and you can also see there's like some little candles here. So a lot of ceremony intention going into this woman connecting, and obviously kind of like connecting into their own higher self. That's just a literal explanation. Let's dive a little bit deeper by reading here from the book, and from there I'll channel in some additional messages as well. Beatrice, thank you so much for joining in. All the readings that we do here are readings for anybody who happens to be tuned in right now. So if you're here, this message is for you, and we work with the intention, show us what we need to see. So if you would like to be able to receive an on-air reading, the contribution link is for the PayPal or the Patreon. And again, if you guys are new here, feel free to just like stick around and hang out and just get a feel for my style. And yeah, if you guys want to stick around longer, then please, by all means, go ahead. And give me 2 seconds here. I'll just post that link there. And all right, okay, cool. All right, and yeah, when we do these readings, we have a lot of fun with them as well. So I appreciate you guys joining in, especially if you're new. So let's dive a little bit deeper. So I'm going to use my my like wizard voice to be able to read here. And as I read this, allow yourself to just open your heart to be able to receive any of the messages. And if anything I say resonates with you, drop an 1111 in the chat. So for those of you on TikTok, my battery's running low on my phone, so my phone's probably gonna die. So jump over to YouTube, just a heads up. All right, here we go. Card number 25, Merkaba Spiritual Protection. Being open to receive is a way to gain empowerment, strength, and all manner of assistance. To enhance receptivity, it can be helpful to declutter and cleanse your energy field. This allows for that which is not rightfully yours to be shed. Sometimes this will include the disowned thoughts and feelings of others. When you release these thoughts and feelings, a spaciousness will grow within you. Then you can ask to receive more of what is rightfully meant to be for you, your divine good in all ways. Again, if anything I say resonates with you, drop an 1111 in the chat. And morning again to everybody tuned in. An open, sensitive person can easily become energetically overloaded. From physical pain to emotional and psychological tension, an overload does not feel good. You may even feel like you are carrying others on your back or in your head. The added weight can drag your naturally light vibration down into anguish, doubt, fear, or despair. Your inner vision, too, may be obscured by the overload. That can make it hard to discern what is yours and what belongs to another. One second, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh. Bless me. Whether experiences overload to your system is an unusual occurrence to you, or you have a tendency to absorb and process others' energies, common for healers, psychics, mediums, artists, and other sensitive, open people. Quick call out for anybody who's tuned in. If you're an empath or you like identify as an empath, drop a 777 in the chat. And again, Moo, for those of you on TikTok, I don't necessarily do it in a style where it's like individual questions for readings. We do it with the intention, show us what we need to see. So if you guys want to contribute for an on-air reading, the instructions up there, click the link in my profile to contribute on PayPal or Patreon. Yeah, let's keep going here. Let me go back to that one sentence. Whether experiencing overload to your system is an unusual occurrence for you, or you have a tendency to absorb and process others' energies, common for healers, psychics, and mediums, artists, and other sensitive people, you will benefit from a spiritual cleansing. Afterwards, you may feel less inclined to connect with particular people or work on certain ideas, even if they seemed very important before the cleanse. This means that you are freeing yourself from others' input and discerning the true priorities of your own heart. To accept a spiritual cleansing now, repeat the invocation, speak the invocation below, and we'll get to that invocation in a bit, and then relax for as long as you need. With the oracle card resting near you, you can repeat this process daily for 3 days or up to 3 weeks if you feel that you need it. Again, this is more of just a general idea, but we'll get more into it. Your rest can be for several minutes or up to a half hour or more. If you fall asleep during your cleansing, that can allow for even deeper clearing. Pay particular attention to what you sense immediately after your cleansing. It is a time when you may become very aware of just who or what has been draining you, and be able to lovingly but firmly say, "You must leave my energy field now and not return without my express verbal permission. And of my own free will, so be it." This oracle is also confirmation for those of you who have been questioning if a relationship, person, or situation may have been draining or transferring negative energies or thoughts into your energy field. Your insights are correct, and you can now use this energy clearing process to remove the cords of attachment and release any negative energy from that person or situation. Okay, so as an invocation here, we'll read that a little bit in a moment. What I'm going to do here, I'm just going to continue to channel from my own heart to yours and just continue to speak on the messages of this card. And for you guys here, you again, have a conversation here. Let us know how this resonates with you. And we'll keep things going here. And again, we'll keep an eye open for any contributions on PayPal or Patreon. And as those contributions come in, we'll keep going into the next readings from there. So this is a very, very, very beautiful card. And again, for everybody here, when we do these readings, I do them with the basic group intention. Show us what we need to see. So for anybody who's tuned in right now, you're here to be able to receive a message. You're here to be able to receive a reminder. And the reminder of this card is to be very, very conscious and aware of the energies that are taking place within your field, of the energies that you are allowing into your field. Many times, for those of us who are light workers and empaths, we become very susceptible to the energies of the frequencies of people we meet, the physical space, and also the energies that we are absorbing through our technologies. Like sometimes we don't really think about it that way, but again, you know, when you're thinking about things from like this like quantum metaphysical perspective, you know that energy transfers non-locally. So even if you're just like getting sucked into a vortex down Twitter or TikTok that may not necessarily be fully like nurturing your heart, be aware of that. Be aware of how that energy is beginning to kind of like populate into your field. So with this card, again, the reference to the Merkaba literally is like the light body vehicle. Think of it as, again, like this container for the unique energy that we hold. Think of it as almost like the container for the aura. And again, the aura in itself, obviously a reflection of the state of our energy. So if you were to just kind of even visualize right now and just imagine and think like, okay, like what does my aura look right now? Knowing that your aura fluctuates, like your aura, much like any other part of your body, is a reflection of your wellness. So if you were just imagine like, what does my aura look like right now? Well, check in with yourself. How are you feeling? Are you feeling like you're just like in an amazing state? Or do you feel like maybe you're a bit drained and maybe there's like some emotional challenges you're dealing with? Maybe there's some relationships that have been causing you a bit of conflict. And again, it's not to say that those in themselves are bad, but this card is reminding you that it is ultimately your responsibility to be able to discern what energies you're allowing into your space. And there's something very, 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 very powerful that I'll say to you guys right now. And I hope that even if you're just tuned in for like this one moment, I hope this message in itself is something that will stay with you and you can carry with you throughout the day, for the week, maybe for the rest of your life. The message that I have is basically this idea that the boundaries that you fail to set are the energies that you continue to allow. So what I mean by that is that it's our responsibility to be able to say and discern, you know, like what is right for us, what is best for us. And sometimes setting boundaries is undeniably a challenging thing, and especially if it's not really a habit for a lot of us. But with a card like this, you know, it's really inviting in the opportunity for you to be able to take that time for yourself to reconnect with the things that will strengthen your aura, that will strengthen your field, and that will give you the psychological and the emotional and the metaphysical permission to be able to say no to certain energies, say no to the way that you're engaging with a relationship if you feel that it is not fully serving you. Now, that doesn't mean you should never engage with any relationship if it's not like 100% perfect, but you really have to make that decision for yourself. You have to make that decision for yourself from a place of higher perspective and being able to understand, you know, like, am I receiving what I'm putting into this? And if it's literally just this one-way street where you're putting in, and then next thing you know, by the end of the week, you're just feeling like so drained and not supported, then be aware of that and make sure that you do find ways to be able to cultivate that support for yourself. And sometimes, you know, you may be in a relationship, and that relationship, it doesn't even have to be with a person. You know, that relationship could literally be like a job. It could be like a circumstance. So if there are relationships that may feel like it's a little bit draining, and maybe currently you're not in the situation where you can just say like, you know, hey, I'm done with this relationship, that might not necessarily be an option just yet, because you might be like, well, I still have to pay bills. I still have to go to this job that I don't really like because I still have to be able to, you know, afford for my family. However, if that's the case and you are in circumstances where there are these scenarios that you're kind of putting yourself into, you're like stepping into the fray, you're stepping into, you know, the chaos of this world that you can't really control, then allow yourself to be able to consciously cultivate a way to be able to again walk into those spaces with a concept of protection that will allow you to hold more integrity within your own energy field, and then also creating those habits and those routines. Hey, Sacred Mystic Tarot, thanks for tuning in. Creating those habits and those routines that will recharge your field, that will cleanse your field. So after you've been spending like a day in a certain circumstance that might have felt like a really like heavy energy, what do you do? What do you do when you get home? Like, I'm creating this opportunity for you to be able to reflect. Do you have a method? Do you have certain things that you do to be able to help move that energy, to release that energy, to clear that energy, and to rejuvenate that energy? How do you plug back in? How do you recharge yourself? And some of the great ways to do this are, again, you know, like literally just like having a mindful shower, using water. Like when you have a shower, it's not literally just cleaning the physical body, it's also like clearing like the discharge. It's creating a discharge for the energetic body. And so that can be a great way to just kind of like clear off, you know, just kind of like the literal energy that has kind of been like latching onto you throughout the day. But then again, it's all the simple things. It's preventative before it even becomes an issue. How is your diet? How is your sleep? How is your exercise? How is your water intake? How is your social interactions? All these things that will nurture and strengthen your heart. And through strengthening your heart, it's literally strengthening your electromagnetic field. And the electromagnetic field is the Merkaba. So I just want to say real quick, for those of you on TikTok, my phone's going to die in less than a minute, probably. So for those of you on TikTok, if you are tuned in and you want to keep hearing the message, jump over to YouTube now. It'll take 2 seconds. Click the link in my profile, and right at the top it says live on YouTube. Click that link and jump over. My phone's going to die on TikTok, so if you guys are tuned in and you're enjoying and you want to stick around, jump over to YouTube now. So again, let's keep going here. We'll just speak on this for a little bit more, because again, you know, being able to share this message is something that's important because it's very relative to each and every single one of us, and I want the best for all of us, and being able to navigate this pretty crazy world really demands a degree of responsibility and knowing how to be able to take care of our energy bodies. So as we keep doing this, we'll just go on into it. We'll go for a little bit longer. I'll read the invocation, and then from there we'll take a little bit of a break until we have a contribution on PayPal or Patreon, and then we'll get into our next reading after that. So again, with this card, you know, this is a card that really calls in a deeper awareness in terms of beginning to really reflect on each of the relationships within our life, and really begin to almost like audit them, be like, you know, like, how is this relationship serving me? How is it draining me? And is it a relationship that I want to be able to continue? And again, when you say no to certain relationships, whatever that relationship is, because again, that relationship can be with a person, it can be with a community, it can be with a job, it can be with a piece of technology, it can be with a substance. Pay attention to that and really check in with yourself, and just allow yourself to really gauge and reflect on, you know, like, is this relationship something that is going to continue to nurture my spirit in the long run, to nurture my heart in the long run? And if the answer is undeniably, you know, a loud voice that says, probably not, then allow yourself the sovereignty to really be able to make a choice for you. Because when you say no to those relationships, you're also saying yes to yourself. You're saying yes to something that's an alternative, yes to something that's more in alignment with who you are. Again, for those of you on all platforms, if anything I say is like speaking to you guys, if it's pumping you up, if it's resonating, drop those 1111s in the chat. Let me know. And your feedback there is always super appreciated. And again, TikTok, stop watching on TikTok. Please stop watching on TikTok. Go watch on YouTube. My phone's going to die. I don't want you guys to miss out, man. So, all right. So let's just go on this for a little bit longer. So let me just read here. I just want to be able to go back to a couple of the notes here. So yeah. So again, you know, with this card, for all the psychics and the mediums and the empaths and the healers out there, it's so important to really begin to create a deeper awareness of not only how we carry ourselves out into the world, but how we relate to the energies around us. And, you know, people can talk about this idea of creating like a psychic shield around you. Now, that's like one way to be able to go about it. And I understand what people are talking about there. They're like, create this psychic shield, and then the bad energies just bounce off. Pew, 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 pew. That you can do that if that works with you. However, there's another way to be able to go about it, and this was passed on by a friend of mine, a very, very wise individual. And basically, they talked about it from this perspective that instead of going out there and visualizing it as like needing to have a shield that's bouncing off these energies, that's bouncing away these energies, instead allow yourself to be able to think of your shield like your this like white bubble around you. Think of it as more of a transmuter. So instead, when there's quote unquote negative energy, when that energy moves towards you, what it does, it moves through this transmuter, like this field. And when it does, it neutralizes the energy, and it neutralizes it from like a quote unquote negative into just pure energy. That energy is not necessarily positive, is not necessarily negative. It is just energy. But when that energy is in that neutral state, allow yourself to receive it, and then you can process it in a positive way. So for example, that's where, again, like say for example, you're walking down the street and someone's like, hey buddy, like your hat sucks or something like that. Like in that moment, like boom, that's like a little arrow of negative energy. But then like that arrow hits your field, your transmutation field, and then when it does that, it kind of like turns that arrow into just like neutral energy. And then in that moment, you can either allow yourself to be like, well, screw you, but like fuck you, get your own hat or something like that. Or you can allow yourself to see it from a higher perspective, and you and kind of step back and just be like, man, like that person's probably having a pretty crappy day. Like what's actually going on here? And I don't need someone else's validation to tell me whether or not I like my own hat. So your opinion's your opinion. I don't necessarily receive it, but at the same time, thank you for reminding me of my own worth, and thank you for reminding me that I don't need external validation in order to be able to know how much I love myself. And at the same time, I send you love in return. So if the kind of person's like walking around, they're like, hey, fuck you, and you're just like, hey, have a nice day, because you probably need it by the sounds of it. So allow yourself to really begin to approach scenarios in that way to the best of your ability, because I think if you have this vision in your mind that you're constantly needing to deflect from negative energy, and then it's like, oh god, and it's like bombarding, and then it gets like and just feel like you're getting like crushed by this negative energy. Instead, allow yourself to kind of like move through this matrix with a very different perspective, where your Merkaba is again more of a transmutation field, and any of the energy that comes, it can all empower you. Any situation that you go through, you have the choice to be able to see it from an empowering perspective or a disempowering perspective. So I'll just wrap up here, because again, with this card, it's a good card to be able to remind us of the power that we have to be able to make the choices that are right for us, to discern those choices for ourselves. Nobody else can make those decisions for us. Those are our choices, and a lot of that choice comes from listening to the heart. So with this card, really inviting you to take the time to be able to reconnect with the things that will charge your field and also clear your mind so that you can make those decisions. So if that means going out in nature, that means meditating, taking time to rest, having a hot bath, getting a good meal, spending time in sunlight, spending time listening to something inspirational. Go listen to Alan Watts or Ram Dass or something like that. Nurture your spirit, nurture your heart, because when you nurture your heart, that is the generator for your electromagnetic field. And then again, when you do that, that will also give you the clarity to be able to, the clarity, is that what I said? To be able to make better decisions for yourself, and to be able to clearly identify where there are certain things within your reality that are, again, kind of like infiltrating into your energy field, and basically you just kind of like banish them. You're like, no, like that energy is not welcome here. Like, no thanks. Maybe in the past, but no thanks, thank you for helping me. And if that's the thing, if that's where you can literally take that energy that once was there and you say no to it, and basically you just kind of say, thank you for helping me, and then you just kind of move it away. And then within that, you're making room for more of like this positive, empowering, focus, integrity-based energy. So, hey Carly, good morning. Thank you so much for joining in. This has been a good one. Again, the Merkaba protection, spiritual protection. So if this resonates with you, drop an 1111 in the chat. I could talk about this like way longer, but we're going to wrap it up here. I just want to honor my throat chakra. I'll read a little invocation here. So as I'm reading this, allow yourself to imagine yourself hearing this as if you're saying it to yourself. For those of you on TikTok, please tune in on YouTube, because my phone's going to die on TikTok. There's like a good handful of you on TikTok. That's why I'm so adamant about it. Stop watching on TikTok, please. Go watch on YouTube and click the link in my profile to be able to jump over there real quick. So, all right. So this is an invocation. So if you're tuned in right now, allow yourself to just receive the message here as if you're speaking it to yourself. Invocation. I call upon unconditionally loving divine protection. The sacred chamber of light, the Merkaba of divine light, is around me now. I choose of my own free will, under divine authority and grace, to release any and all connections, content, and contaminants that do not serve me through unconditional love. I choose of my own free will to take my life journey in the most joyful and loving way possible. I open to divine grace for cleansing and protection of my integrity at all times. I am free to simply be in the truth of me. May all beings be blessed and protected. May all beings be happy and free. Through my own free will, so be it. So there we go, guys. The card number 25, Merkaba Spiritual Protection. Very, very beautiful, very, very powerful card. Very, very relatable in today's day and age. So again, let's all focus on again cultivating the strength of our heart, which thus in turn generates the Merkaba field, generates the field around us. Focus on really just like being aware of what energies are kind of like seeping into our field, and make those choices that are going to serve you in the long run, and being able to say no to this and yes to what's best for you. So on behalf of the universe, I give you permission to cleanse your field and to really focus on strengthening it as well. So there's multiple things that you can take from this card as a little bit of inspiration. So if this card resonated with you, if you received it and you're like, thanks, Brendan, like that was meaningful, I'm glad I was able to tune in for that, drop an 1111 in the chat. And then I would also invite you to write out a little affirmation. Write out a little affirmation based on the teaching of this card. Don't just do it for me. I like whether you do it, that's up to you, but do it in a way where it's basically like anchoring down the wisdom of the mind into the heart, to tell the body that you are paying attention and embody the lesson of this card. So I'll do a quick example. So it can be an I am or a we are affirmation. We usually do this after each reading. So I am continuing to use discernment to choose which energies I allow into my field. I welcome in energies that support and nurture my heart as I continue to develop and deepen my practices that will strengthen my field and continuing for me to be able to shine my light and inspiring others to do the same. So, card number 25, Merkaba Spiritual Protection. Pew 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 pew. Beautiful card there. If anybody wants to write up for this card, send me a direct message on Instagram and I can screenshot it and send it back to you guys. So, was that a good one? Did you guys like that? Jessica dropping a little affirmation in the chat. 1111, I am safe. I am supported. I am loved. Beautiful. Thank you, Jessica. Jessica, one of our leading members there. So awesome. All right, let me check the battery for those of you on TikTok. For those of you on TikTok, please stop watching on TikTok. Go onto YouTube before my phone dies. I didn't plug it in last night. So let me check my battery real quick. Okay. All right. We'll see whether or not the TikTok crashes. But again, for those of you on TikTok, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm glad this feed synchronistically found you. What we'll do right now, we'll just take a little bit of an intermission. I just want to be able to rest my throat chakra. And again, as we do this, for anybody who's tuned in right now, the way how these broadcasts work, you guys can get an on-air live reading by contributing on PayPal with a contribution. It can be like a $5 contribution, or you can contribute a little bit more and to pay it forward. And when we do that, we'll do a little bit of a meditation together. Your intuition will help draw the cards. So it'll be something very relative to you, something that you need to hear with the intention, show us what we need to see. And then also for anybody else who happens to be tuned in. So when you contribute there, it's not just for you, it's for everyone. And it's a pretty awesome way to be able to help share some messages and inspiration. The other option you guys can check out is the Patreon. Patreon is the Patreon membership that we'd have, which is a monthly contribution. For those of you who aren't familiar, again, my name is Brendan. I'm the facilitator for Paradigm Shift Central. It's a community of conscious creators and leaders. So if you guys are looking to join my Patreon membership, check it out, see which tiers resonate with you. And with that, you'll be able to join in for exclusive events within our conscious community. Tomorrow, we actually have our Dream Discussion Circle that Lacey and I are hosting. Carly, are you going to be around for the Dream Discussion Circle tomorrow, if possible, even if you're just able to listen in? And that recording will also be available for the members. Who here is going to be tuned in for the Dream Discussion Circle? Like, it's just going to be a private Zoom link, and I already sent you guys the Zoom link. If you're going to be here for the Dream Discussion Circle, let me know. Or if you want to be tuned in, if you want to join the Dream Discussion Circle, also let me know. But again, join the Patreon. The link for that is in my profile. You can check it out at any point. It doesn't have to be right away. And the contributions there process on the first of each month. And again, the other options on the Patreon, if you join at the $33 level, you can also get one of these beautiful light guardian crystals. Yes, the light does change on that. These are handmade tools that I create for the team. And this one's actually a Lumerian light guardian crystal. But when you sign up at the $33 level, you can also get one of the regular quartz light guardian crystals, and I just ask that you pay shipping. And you also get monthly one-on-one video sessions with me, which can be a personal and private card reading, as well as even just a conscious media creation coaching session. So again, if you guys are thinking of checking out the Patreon, do me a favor, drop a 777 in the chat. There's a lot of people in our community who have been involved, and again, it's also a place where you can receive support as a conscious media creator and to be able to help share your content, to share your events. And yeah, I'm here to support you guys. So if you're thinking of signing up for the Patreon at some point in the future, drop a 777 in the chat, and we'll just hang out here for a little bit longer, and we'll keep an eye open for any contributions on PayPal or Patreon. So if anyone would like to contribute on PayPal or Patreon, go ahead and do that now. And I'd love to even see if we can get one new sign up on Patreon today. And we had a few like $33 signups in the last couple of days. So thank you guys again for signing up at that level, and think of it as an investment for yourself. So if you've been looking for like a really cool community, then this is definitely one to be able to check out. And thank you guys again for adding your support in all forms. So if you're tuned in on Instagram, if you're tuned in on TikTok, I appreciate you guys being here. So let's just keep it open for a couple more minutes. We'll get into at least one more reading, and then we'll from there we'll either wrap it up or we'll keep going based on any new signups for PayPal or for Patreon. So we'll jump into another reading in a couple moments. And for those of you on Twitch, thank you guys for joining in. Again, I'm live here Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. EDT. And yesterday we had an awesome team podcast. Like, who here is interested in like ET contact, like human initiated peaceful contact? If you are, last night's broadcast with our friend Sharon, one of our community members, a lot of inspiration about that, a lot of like her contact experiences, and talked all about like our relationship with like ETs and stuff. So that's on my YouTube channel. The link for that's in my profile for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, and Spotify Paradigm Shift Radio. So just one of the awesome events that we got here in the community. So cool. All right, where's everybody tuned in from right now? Go ahead, leave a quick comment in the chat. And if you guys do have any questions about the Patreon, let me know. Contributions for that process on the first of each month. So even if you literally sign up today, it literally doesn't even cost you anything, and until October 1st, which is when the contributions process. So who here would want a purple light guardian crystal? And if you guys want to even order any of the light guardian crystals normally, just send me a DM. They are on my shop. And yeah, those are a super awesome way to be able to support the project. Plus they're a pretty cool tool. And as far as I know, I'm like the only person who makes them quite like this. There's a lot of awesome people making awesome things, and this is the thing that I like to make. So if you guys want to order one of those normally, feel free to check out my shop. And if you guys want to be able to get one by joining on the Patreon, check out the $33 level. And yeah, lots of other awesome stuff there. And also the Patreon supporters, you guys also get discounts on the shop. So hey, Ballet Gamer, thank you for joining in. Let's get ready to move into another reading. I'll keep things rolling here, and let's use the, we'll do the Hero's Journey deck. And again, when you guys sign up on PayPal or Patreon, you guys can also choose which deck you can use. So we have the Hero's Journey deck, the Lightworker Oracle deck, the Sacred Spirit deck, and the Ananda Tarot deck. So when you guys sign up on the PayPal or Patreon to contribute and support, you guys can choose a deck. And again, we'll do an on-air reading for you with the intention, show us what we need to see. And yeah, it's always really, really exciting to be able to do this, not just for the tarot, but again, to be able to do it as a way to invite people further into the community. So if you guys happen to be stumbling upon this, and if you guys are looking for a team of conscious creators, definitely connect further. We also have a Discord server. You guys are welcome to connect to that. And yeah, lots of other awesome opportunities. So let's work on getting one Patreon sign up today. So if you guys have been following my work, or maybe you already are just like, you know what, this is pretty cool, I'm going to check it out. go ahead and check out that Patreon. It takes about like 2 minutes to sign up, not even, or go ahead and contribute on PayPal, and PayPal literally takes like 10 seconds to contribute. So thank you again, everyone, and we'll get right into our next reading. So for this next reading, we're going to do the Hero's Journey deck, which is again a dream oracle deck. So it's a pretty cool deck. So if you guys are ready for this next reading, do me a favor, drop an 1111 in the chat. Let me know, and yeah, we'll get right into this. And again, we'll keep an eye open for any contributions on PayPal or Patreon. And if you guys even want to reach out to me for individual readings, feel free to do so as well. I actually have a private reading after this broadcast, so we'll do this one. And again, this will either be the last reading, or we'll do some more as we have contributions coming in through the PayPal or Patreon. So all right, if you guys are ready for this next reading, drop an 1111 in the chat, let me know, and then we will get right into it. And thank you guys again. So awesome. Thank you, Sweet Jeanette. Thank you for your engagement. Thank you again, Ballet Gamer. Thank you guys so much for joining in. All right, let's do this. So when we do these readings, what's really cool is that we do it as like a collective reading. So I invite you guys to help put your intention into it. And the way that we do that is through a little meditation. And then within that meditation, we're just dropping into our heart space, and then we set the intention, show us what we need to see. So for everybody who is here, feel free to join us in this meditation. And yeah, thank you so much for joining in. And if you are here, this message is for you. So thank you for helping facilitate it. All right, here we go. So for everybody here, when you're ready, just go ahead and gently close your eyes. And softly connecting with your breath. Gentle inhales and gentle exhales. As you breathe here, just allow yourself to connect into your heart space and just be in this moment of gratitude. Gratitude for yourself, for the team, for the community, for the messages we are here to receive. With gratitude in your heart, we'll collectively focus on the intention, show us what we need to see. We being the individual, the collective, the team. Show us what we need to see. So for everybody here, go ahead and take a moment and speak that within your heart, within your mind, with your words, with your soul. Imagine this like beautiful beam of light just like rising up from your heart into the heavens and anchoring this wisdom down from the stars. So as you continue to focus on that intention, your heart nice and open, when you're ready, for everybody here, you guys can gently open your eyes and return your awareness to the space around us. Keep putting that intention, and I'll do a little bit of wizard magic, and then we'll split the deck. So here we go. The patterns are all around us, don't you see? Because we are an extension of the sacred geometry. And perhaps you have forgotten who you truly are, but the truth is not that. It is not very far to be able to connect with what you have always been, because when you look around you, you see the infinite mirrors reflecting back within. And so as we continue to open our hearts and our minds, we shall split the deck to see what we shall find. Beautiful. And yes, if you're new here, the sound effects are just like a part of the exciting aspect of here. Holy crap. Okay, this is a cool card. Wow. I'm just looking at the image here. Okay. For those of you on TikTok, for those of you on Twitch, thank you guys, and YouTube and Instagram, thank you guys so much for tuning in. The card that we have pulled, again, for anybody who's here, this card is for you, is card number 39. How much good can you handle? Explore the upward spiral of grace. Card number 39. How much good can you handle? Explore the upward spiral of grace. So just going to open the book here again. For those of you who may be new, what we'll do, we'll just explain the image, read from the book, and then I'll just continue to channel some inspiration for you guys. And yeah, for those of you on Twitch, thank you so much for joining in. If you're not entirely familiar with my content, I've been creating content for like 10 years. I'm the host of a podcast and also the facilitator for a pretty awesome community. So let's dive a little bit deeper, and yeah, let's just take a look at this image. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, join in on YouTube, links in my profile. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful image. And I'm just trying to think of how to be able to explain this. So very abstract, but this beautiful form, this beautiful feminine form who's got this there's a moon behind them, and they're kind of like blended into the moon, or at least it kind of looks like a moon. And this beautiful red dress, again, I'm just explaining it literally, and it kind of reminds me, I don't know, it reminds me of like something from an anime, honestly. And these like streaks just like moving across her, and this very kind of like cosmic energy swirling all around her. So again, that's just me explaining the literal here, and a very like soft gaze on her face. So all right, let's dive a little bit deeper. I haven't actually read this one on air before, so this is me getting to experience it with you guys for the first time. And whenever we do these readings, like it's like I get to receive the reading as well, so that's why it's so exciting. So, all right, for anything I read here, just allow yourself to open your heart, receive this. If you are here, it is not a coincidence. Allow yourself to just receive what messages will reach your soul, and if anything I say resonates, drop an 1111 in the chat. And yeah, let's see what the message is for us today. Card number 39. How much good can you handle? Explore the upward spiral of grace. How much good can you handle? How much love can you take? How much good can you endure before the fortress breaks? That's a quote by Kelly Sullivan Walden. The message. When blessings come in, stop holding your breath, awaiting the other shoe to drop. You no longer need to feel that you are begging gifts from the universe. May your prayer not be for more, but that you have the eyes to see what you've always wanted is what you've always had. Wow, that's pretty deep. I'm going to reread that again. May your prayer not be for more, but that you have the eyes to see that what you have always wanted is what you have always had. Perhaps you thought it was cute to be coy and self-effacing when given a compliment or acknowledgement or appreciation. It is time to open your heart, breathe deeply, and receive blessings knowing it is not just about or for you. With every gift you receive, you can give back to life. It is an energy exchange, a perpetuating spiral of application that leads to more to appreciate. This spiral circulates upward, escalating you into higher realms of consciousness. Instead of questioning what you did not deserve, all this goodness, pray to become more aware of and receptive to the blessings of your life. Dream symbol. Dreams of a gift. Oh, and the symbol is gift. Dreams of a gift are an affirmation that you are on the right track. Consider what the gift is and what it symbolizes in your waking life. Giving the gift denotes a desire to have your gifts, aka talents, appreciated. If you are the recipient of the gift, the dream might be a litmus test for your current level of receptiveness in light of the blessings the universe has in store for you. Mantra. I am present as I open my heart to graciously behold the blessings laying at my feet. Beautiful, beautiful card. Let's get to dive a little bit deeper here. Just give me 2 seconds. Thank you again, everyone, for joining in. And again, we'll just channel some additional inspiration based on the message here of this card. And this will be our last reading for today, unless we do have anybody else who would like to receive an on-air reading. And again, you can contribute on PayPal or join on Patreon to be able to initiate that. And that will be for yourself, but also for the team. So let's dive a little bit deeper here. So again, this card, how much good can you handle? This is a very, very interesting card, and I'm sure it's one that a lot of us can relate to. There's this idea that, you know, the universe is constantly, perpetually blessing us with gifts, blessing us with moments to really be able to understand that each and every single moment with it carries gifts. And then that's not to say that our gratitude is going to be fully present every single second of the day. But with a card like this, it's encouraging us to take those times and those opportunities to really begin to fall in love with the little things, to fall in love with the things that perhaps due to our relationship, we've almost developed them to a point where it becomes mundane, it becomes normal. And yet, even still, it's an opportunity for us to be able to check in with our heart and begin to start to see that the blessings of this life are truly all around us. There's kind of like this idea where, like I used to complain that I had no shoes until I saw a man with no feet. So it is kind of this idea of kind of like count your blessings, but not even just counting your blessings, but check in with your heart to be able to acknowledge that maybe there are parts of you that still need to do a little bit of healing if you're having trouble being able to acknowledge and receive the gifts that already are. And that's to no fault of your own, because oftentimes we've kind of been conditioned. And again, drop some 1111s if you guys resonate with this. We've been conditioned to seek goodness and to seek worthiness outside of ourselves. We oftentimes, determine our internal state based on the interactions that we have with the physical world around us. You think of all the times where it's just kind of like, oh man, like I'm only happy when I'm shopping at the mall. Like that makes me happy, and then I'm gonna buy more stuff and buy more stuff. I'm not saying this like we've all done this, and this isn't like a bad thing. It's more of just an observation, but you can understand how it can kind of perpetuate to the point where, imagine if a person is constantly like filling a void within themselves by filling it with material things. I'm going to buy new shoes. I'm going to buy new outfits. I'm going to get this cute hat. I'm going to get this cute thing. And that's cool. You can do that. But eventually, like your closet's going to be overflowing. And yet still, even in that moment, if you're still feeling like there's something missing inside of you, then the answer isn't to constantly go out and buy more of the same. The answer is to be able to start looking at what you already have. And it shouldn't even be necessarily opening that closet again. It should really be a way of looking at the little things that have always been there all along. I think it's one of those things where even for us as humans, we kind of go through this process where we don't really appreciate what we have until it's gone. And so with this card, I invite you to be able to see this card as an opportunity to be able to acknowledge that there is a lot of good in your life. And that's not to say that there aren't days where, again, like things can be hard, things can be challenging, and there's suffering, no doubt. But even still, life is the yin and the yang, and how you dance with it is up to you, and how you shift your focus is entirely up to you. So, where are you shifting your focus upon right now? And if you constantly and constantly and constantly are complaining and talking about how things aren't this and things aren't that and things aren't this, meanwhile, there's like a little like magical elf from the universe who's like trying to get your attention and is just like, but this is pretty cool. Like, look at this thing. Like, don't forget about these awesome trees outside. Have you looked at the sun recently? Like, oh man, the fact that you've got running water from your tap, like, that's pretty cool. And yet, here we are constantly just again, kind of like needing to be able to find something more, something more, something more, when in actuality, I think what happens through the process of our spiritual maturity is that we begin to realize that over time, it's the process of being able to discover who we are, noscite ipsum, is actually the process of being able to discover not just who we are, but what we are not. And we begin to relinquish our attachments, our emotional attachments. Hey, Campton, thanks for joining in, to the material world around us. And we begin to fall in love with the simple things, like unplug your phone, go connect with nature, really start to look at the things that are already in your life, look at the people who are already here. Each and every single day is a blessing. And I invite you guys to see this card as a little bit of a call to action to challenge you that, for tomorrow, maybe even just for the rest of the day, I am going to do my best to not complain about anything. And that's not to say you can't have feelings. Again, it's a caveat. Like, you don't have to actually literally do this, but to just notice how when you start to just be able to bring more attention to the little things within your life. And honestly, one of the things that I think of that just comes to mind is, even the idea of just like having a pet. And this is coming from experience of, like having a pet, and you have a pet and you're with them every day, and you have these moments where you love them and you love them and you love them. And then there are just some days where it just kind of becomes routine, and they just kind of become, and again, it's kind of peculiar using this as an example, but they become just like a part of your routine, and you're walking them, and it's just kind of like something that you just do. And then without us fully bringing that conscious awareness, it's possible to literally create those moments within our life where we have this incredible, beautiful gift, this loving creature that each and every single day is just pouring this abundant love at us. And yet here we are just kind of like not receiving it, not really even acknowledging it, and just pushing it to the side as if it is just, like this, just another thing. It's just there. And then one day, lo and behold, that pet won't be there. And then suddenly you're just like, wow, how much I would want it to be there. And so, in a situation like that, again, and this is speaking from experience, don't wait for something to be gone to realize how much of a gift it always was. And allow yourself to almost kind of like hypothesize where it's just like, okay, like look at the things around me. If this was gone tomorrow, how would I feel about that? If this wasn't in my reality tomorrow, how would I feel about that? And would I feel grief? Would I feel sadness? Absolutely. And if you acknowledge the fact that you would feel grief and you would feel sadness, that's also acknowledging the fact that you care about those things deeply and that they have meaning for you. So, it's kind of a peculiar meditation to be able to do, but literally reflect on all the things in your life that would give you grief if they were suddenly gone. Like, literally ask yourself that question. If X, Y, and Z was not here tomorrow, would it give me grief? How would it make me feel? And then use that as a compass to be able to say, whoa, you know what? Maybe I haven't really been giving those things enough attention. Maybe I haven't really been acknowledging how meaningful those things actually are within my life, how much good I actually already have here within my life. So again, with this card is about being able to receive gifts. It's being able to receive the gift of the present moment. And it's about receiving gifts beyond just this idea of like materialism. It's being able to receive the gift through moments, through interactions, the gift that you share with another person when they see you, when they look into your eyes and you look into theirs and you have those holy moments. It's not just the physical person or the physical object, it's the interaction and the relationship between the two. Literally just being able to go outside and get your feet on the dirt, like get your feet in the grass. Like if I could literally, for everybody here, if everybody tuned in, if I can just create this as an opportunity to just remind everyone, like check in with yourself. When was the last time that you allowed yourself to receive the gift of putting your bare feet in the grass? Because that too is a gift. And this life is a gift. This life is abundant with gifts. Every single breath is a gift. And if you look at it, you can begin to see how many gifts are really within your life, to the point where it literally like almost like overflows. It literally is just like, holy shit, my life is so full of gifts, and maybe I didn't fully acknowledge them. Maybe I haven't fully been consciously reflecting on how incredibly blessed I truly am. So, tell the friends that you have in your life that you love them. Show appreciation within each and every single moment to the best of your ability, or at least take those little moments throughout the day to really be able to be present with the things in your life that create meaning for you, that you value, that bring you joy, and the things that you can also bring joy in return. The joy of being able to serve another, that in itself is a gift. So as much as you are here to be able to receive gifts, you are also here to give gifts, and your presence is a gift, your voice is a gift, your hands are a gift, your touch is a gift, your kiss is a gift. Your presence in itself is this beautiful gift, and each and every single day you have the opportunity to be able to share that gift with others. And when you share, you also receive. So again, I'll just kind of get close to wrapping it up here, but I'd love to even just hear, for those of you on the chat, there's not a lot of people tuned in right now. I don't care if there's not a lot of people tuned in right now. I'm still going to speak this message as if there was like 1,000 people tuned in right now, because this message is the universe speaking to itself. And right now, that's all I am. I'm just the universe. I'm just the messenger talking to you, serving as a mirror. And for those of you who are here, I hope this is a message that has been a little reminder, just to be able to say like, hey, you know what? I'm pretty blessed. There's a lot of crazy things happening in the world. There's a lot of things that we can't control, but don't let that take away from being able to acknowledge the things within your life that you enjoy, that bring you meaning, that bring you this reflection of being able to say, holy crap, this is special. This is something meaningful to me. And you win in this life when you can have less and cultivate even more gratitude. You could almost do that as a meditation, where it's like okay, like I'm gonna try and like find the things in my life that maybe I've developed like almost like an unhealthy attachment to, and begin to kind of like remove some of those things. Like I'm gonna remove my video game system. Oh, okay. Like I'm gonna remove like like all of these like little like material things. I'm gonna stop doing this, I'm gonna stop doing this, I'm gonna stop doing this, I'm gonna stop doing that. And you slowly begin to remove, and yet even as you remove, you're opening space for a deeper connection with the abundance of the other things that are already there. Because when you're constantly adding new things into your reality in a quest to be able to fill something within your heart, then oftentimes it takes focus and attention away from the things that are already there. So make sure you're shifting your focus to really be able to fall in love, to fall in love again, to deepen the relationship, to reflect on the relationship with the things in your life that maybe sometimes you unconsciously take for granted, or maybe you just haven't really been giving them attention to, and create those holy moments for yourself. And the gift of the holy moment of simply being present is such a powerful gift. So mantra: I am present as I open my heart to graciously behold the blessings laying at my feet. I am present as I open my heart to graciously behold the blessings laying at my feet. You are incredibly blessed. There are many, many, many blessings all around you, and open your heart to be able to receive those. So, card number 39, how much good can you handle? Explore the upward spiral of grace. So, I hope that me reading this card, I hope that it gives you guys a chance to really just be able to make today a little bit extra mindful, and to move forward from this point, to be able to say, like, yeah, I'm going to start looking for those little things within my life to be able to really be able to acknowledge the gift of as well. So if that resonated with you, drop some 1111s in the chat. If you were like, thanks Brendan, like that was good, I'm glad I was able to receive that, go ahead and let me know. And go ahead and write out a little affirmation based on the message of that card for you to be able to kind of like embody that message, to tell your body that you heard that message. So little message for you in this moment, little affirmation: I am, or we are. I'll just do my own. I am continuing to intentionally bring more awareness to the gifts all around me, to acknowledge them, to deepen my relationship with them, and to be able to be ever more present with my gratitude for this life that I receive, for the gifts that I receive each and every single day. Aho. Cool. Thank you guys so much. All right. I'm just going to take a quick break here. We'll read any affirmations in the chat. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Again, if anyone would like to be able to contribute on PayPal or Patreon, go ahead and do that now. Otherwise, this is the last reading for today. And if so, that's totally fine. And if you guys want to be able to contribute on PayPal or Patreon, especially if you guys were tuned in for some previous readings, and even if you're just like, hey, you know what, like maybe you got a jet, but if you're just like, thanks Brendan, that was like some pretty good reading, thank you for the time and energy that it takes to do this, and you guys just want to drop a few dollars into the PayPal, go ahead and do that too, and then we can pay it forward, and we'll keep the readings going. So if you guys want to show your appreciation that way, super appreciate. Again, your presence in itself is equally appreciated. And yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out, and definitely encouraging you guys to check out the Patreon when you get a chance. And again, that's where you can check out our monthly membership there. So lots of cool stuff. Beautiful. All right, team. Like I said, I'm just going to be kind of taking a moment to just be in my own receptiveness of the gift of this tea of honey. Beautiful. Thank you again to those of you on TikTok as well. So if anybody would like to be able to receive an on-air reading, again, you guys can contribute on PayPal or Patreon. We'll hang out here for the next little bit. For those of you on Twitch, if you guys are jumping off, feel free to subscribe, and we'll keep things we'll keep things going here. I'd love to be able to do some more readings. So if you guys would like to be able to have some more readings for the team, if you guys want to hang out longer, go ahead and join in on the PayPal or Patreon. And I'm just going to be doing some things behind the scenes on Twitch right now. So did you guys enjoy those readings? Mr. Paul, did you guys enjoy those readings? Go ahead and let me know. I'm going to check out who else is on Twitch right now. Thank you, Ballet Gamer. Thank you, Sweet Jeanette. Carly, if you're tuned in, thank you as well. Thank you, Lonely Traveler. I love being able to see like who else is doing tarot these time of days. Cool. All right. Again, for those of you tuned in right now, we're between readings. If you guys would like to be able to do another reading for the team, feel free to contribute on PayPal or Patreon. And again, if you guys join on Patreon, the contributions there process on the first of each month. So even if you sign up today, the contribution won't process until October 1st, but you still get access to everything. So it's like basically like a trial period. So it's pretty cool. Cool. I'll do a raid before we wrap up here. Okay. Again, if just keeping an eye open for any contributions on PayPal or Patreon. And yeah, if you guys want to keep things going, go ahead and contribute there. And again, if you guys want to DM me on Instagram, feel free to do that. And if you want to set up any individual readings, that's also an option there as well. So yeah, there's a few other things that I'll be working on today. So if we do some more readings, that's fine with me. And yeah, I would encourage you guys to even go check out the new podcast from last night with Sharon. It was really cool. Talked a lot about like CE5 and everything like that. So hey, Carliti, thank you for joining in. All right. Oh, awesome. Paul, thank you so much for your contribution on PayPal. Thank you, Paul, so much, and that means we'll wonderful. We'll do another reading. So for everybody here, let's give a nice thank you to Paul. And Paul, I'll wait for you to jump back into the chat on Instagram, or sorry, on TikTok, and then we can do at least one more reading. And if there's any other contributions after that, then we will do that there as well. So Paul, if you're in the TikTok, just go ahead and let me know. We'll just give it a second for you to be able to jump back. So I love when people get to tune in for the first time. And yeah, again, with what it is that we're doing here, we're not just doing tarot, we're also building a community as well. So perfect. All right, thank you, Paul. So Paul, if are you able to tune in on YouTube? Is that an option for you? If so, just click the link in my profile to be able to tune in on YouTube. If you prefer to stay on TikTok, that's totally fine. Let me know which works for you. Would you like to stay on TikTok, or do you want to jump over to YouTube? Because the YouTube has like better audio too. So, and then we'll get you to choose the which deck you would like as well. Beautiful. TikTok's good. All right, cool. All right, Paul. So what we'll do, we'll give you the chance to be able to choose what deck you would like to be able to draw from. So we have the Ananda Tarot deck, which is like traditional tarot. Sacred Spirit, which is the Oracle deck. Lightworker Oracle deck, which is always a good one. Or the Hero's Journey deck, which is the one that we just did. And again, with every reading that we do, we have the intention, show us what we need to see. And yeah, every reading will be for both you, Paul, and for any of the other people who happen to be tuned in right now. So all right. Okay, so once Paul's confirmed, we're gonna do the which Lightworker Oracle deck, because technically like this one's also like these three are like all Oracle decks. Lightworker Oracle deck or Hero's Journey. I assume you probably meant Lightworker Oracle deck. So if so, just confirm that and we'll get that ready. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I always have like Zelda music on in the background. It's a playlist for like beautiful, relaxing Zelda music. So cool. All right. Hero. Okay, we'll do the Hero's Journey deck. Perfect. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for confirming. All right, so let me just make sure we got everything in place. Beautiful. All right. Thank you again, everyone. For everybody here, feel free to give a nice thank you to Paul. Paul's tuned in on TikTok right now. And again, Paul, the way how we're doing this, I think you were tuned in for the previous one, so you got to be able to see that there. So we'll do a bit of a meditation where we'll drop into our heart space. And then, Paul, what we're going to do, we're going to lead you through this, focus on the intention, show us what we need to see. And then with that, we'll cue you up, Paul, to be able to just take a few more breaths at your own pace, listen to your intuition, and then when I cue you to, you'll type now into the chat. And then at that point, that's when you split the deck. So we'll lead you through it, get you to that point. You'll listen to your intuition, and then you'll type now into the chat when you're ready. And then at that point, that's when we split the deck. So let me know if you're ready there, Paul. Let me know if that makes sense for you, and we'll get right into that. And for everybody else, again, please join us in this meditation that we'll do. And for everybody here, we'll collectively put our intention into this. So Paul's ready. Perfect. All right. And thank you again, everyone. We've been doing these readings on air for like, I don't even know how many tarot reading broadcasts I've done. Like, I've totally lost track. It's probably over 100. So it's always fun, and I appreciate everybody tuning in. So, all right. So for everybody here, let's do a little bit of a meditation. Paul's on TikTok, so I'll be speaking to the camera there, but I'll also be speaking to the YouTube and TikTok camera as well. So, and Twitch camera. So, okay. All right. So for everybody here, allow yourself to just get ready to do this little meditation with us. So when you're ready, gently close your eyes. And just allow yourself to connect with your breath. Soft, gentle inhales. And soft, gentle exhales. So for Paul and for everybody here, just allow yourself to just arrive into the space of gratitude. Gratitude for yourself, for this space, for this team, for the messages we are here to receive. And with this gratitude in our heart, Paul, and for everyone, we'll focus our intention towards the idea of show us what we need to see. Show us what we need to see. We being the individual, the collective, and the team. And so for Paul and for everyone, focusing on this intention, show us what we need to see. Speak it with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. And as we continue to focus on this intention, you can imagine this beautiful beam of light coming up from our being into the heavens, anchoring this wisdom down from the stars. Paul, at this point, I just invite you to continue to just focus on your breathing, take a few moments here at your own pace, and when you are ready, you can open your eyes and type now in the chat, and at that point, we'll split the deck on your cue. For everybody else, you guys can also open your eyes and we'll charge the deck and focus that intention. So here we go. The wizard in me honors the wizard in you, and I thank you for all that you have grown through, because each day is a new gift to unlock an old memory, because this body is just a vehicle, an extension, an accessory. Because who you are is more than who you have been led to believe, and each day is another opportunity to awaken to the magic of this synchronicity. And so as we hold this space within our heart to be able to see the magic of these cards, I honor each and every single one of you as we continue to awaken to the truth of these stars. The stars that are inside, the stars that are far and wide, the stars that reflect themselves back to you through your eyes. And so as Paul says now in the chat, we split the deck to see which message the universe has. Thank you, Paul. All right. Oh, wow. I just got like shivers up my spine. Dude, I was looking at this card the other day and I'm like, man, like we haven't pulled that one on air like ever. And I'm like, how have we never pulled that one on air? And just did. So very, very special card. So the card that we have pulled with Paul, who contributed on the PayPal and Patreon, or sorry, on the PayPal. And again, this is for everybody who's tuned in right now. So if you're here, this message is for you. The card that we have pulled is card number 18. Knights of the Round Table, let their love lift you higher. Card number 18, Knights of the Round Table, let their love lift you higher. Beautiful, beautiful card here. So let's get right into it. Again, what we're going to do, we're just going to visually explain the image of the card, and then from there we are going to read from the book, and we'll continue to channel some additional inspiration. And yeah, super beautiful card. If you guys resonate with anything, even just right away, drop some 1111s in the chat. I'm sure we got some people here who definitely resonate with the Knights of the Round Table energy, and I definitely resonate with it. Big fan of it. So I've been embodying it for quite some time. So, all right. So just visually explain the image of this card. And again, right now I just have to show the camera on TikTok, but I'll show it to Twitch and YouTube as well, because Paul's just on the TikTok camera. So beautiful image, just explaining the visual image here. You can see this is a visual image that is very much like an artistic interpretation of a very round table-esque image, and it looks like it's just kind of like this like galaxy spiraling out with this beautiful light source in the center. I love the purples here and this beautiful energy of light, kind of like a galaxy. And you can actually see there's like individual beings of light, individual beings kind of like positioned around this interpretation of the round table. And I think there's definitely some like Merlin. That guy might be Merlin right there. So beautiful, beautiful card. I'm wondering if there's any extra details in there. Yeah, there's a lot of people like gathering around a source of light. So okay, I'm gonna be holding the card kind of between both. So let's read from the book, and then from there we'll channel some additional inspiration. As we do this will be our last reading for today, unless there are any new contributions on PayPal or Patreon. So if you guys want to keep the broadcast going and get an on-air reading, go ahead and do that. And thank you again, Paul, for your contribution. So here we go. If you guys are here, this message is for you. Allow yourself to just open your heart and open your mind to be able to receive it. And any if anything resonates, drop those 1111s in the chat. Here we go. Card number 18. Knights of the Round Table. Let their love lift you higher. This is a quote by Denzel Washington. I didn't know he had a quote in this. Paul, just let me know that you're still confirmed that you're tuned in. I just want to make sure I don't see your icon up at the top. Paul, just make sure that let me know that you're still tuned in so you're not missing anything. Show me a successful individual and I will show you someone who didn't want for positive influence in his or her life. I don't care who you are or what you do for a living. If you do it well, I'm betting there was someone cheering you on and showing you the way. Okay, perfect, Paul. Thank you. And here's the message. Envision the people you most admire, now and throughout history, seated at a round table with you and your life as their sole focus. Allow your personal Knights of the Round Table to offer guidance on your current circumstance, goals, and aspirations. Lean on their strength, knowing it is a sign of courage, not weakness, to be buoyed by visible and invisible ones who love you. Excuse me. Feel the unique way they infuse you with a direct transmission of wisdom from on high. Marinate in their individual and collective brilliance. Allow yourself to feel, sense, and see genius, gently yet powerfully wrapping itself around you, lifting you higher than you ever could do on your own. Hey Darren, the card that we just pulled is called Knights of the Round Table, so pretty cool card. All right, the dream symbol for this card is guide. Every card from this deck, it relates to a dream symbol, so this is what it has to say. Dreams of a guide, life coach, guru, or leader of any kind signify that you are connecting with the way shower within you. Everyone in your dreams is you. So dreaming of a guide brings a direct infusion of insight, clarity, and wisdom that is more powerful than any external source could provide. I'm going to reread that again. Everyone in your dreams is you. So dreaming of a guide brings a direct infusion of insight, clarity, and wisdom that is more powerful than any external source could provide. Honor this dream by taking concrete action in the waking world. Your dream guide comes to inspire and assist you on your hero's journey. Mantra. With my personal knight by my side, I am protected, loved, lifted, and carried. Hey Darren, thanks for joining on YouTube. All right, give me 1 second here. We're going to dive a little bit deeper. Again, team, this will be the last reading for today, unless we do have anybody else who would like to get an on-air reading by joining on the PayPal or Patreon, and we're just going to dive into this. Again, Paul, thank you so much for your contributions. There's a lot to be able to talk about here, and this is a beautiful card. Like, honestly, like this card could literally just be a podcast in itself. So, Knights of the Round Table. So in this context, when we're talking about the Knights of the Round Table, I like the visual image that they've created here. So in this case, they're talking a lot about this idea that each and every single one of us is being supported by an unseen group, and not always like a literal unseen group, but a group of beings that isn't necessarily like here within the physical. And even though this does refer to the support of those here in the physical, in particular this is referring to the connection that we have with spiritual guides of, you know, like quote unquote like higher dimensions and everything like that. So energetically, each and every single one of us rests at the center of a table, and around us is like this team of angels and guides and guardians whose job is literally to be able to help support us on our path. And now, like I said, this can be something where literally this team is made up of people who are, again, loved ones who have passed on. They could be archangels, they could be archetypes, it could be Morpheus or something like that. But at the same time, this is important to be able to reflect on the guides that are here and now with us, and the ones that we stand with. Because I think even though in this card, like I said, it says allow your personal Knights of the Round Table to offer guidance on your current circumstances, goals, and aspiration. I think even though in this card it's kind of positioning us at the center of our table, I think it is always important to be able to reflect on the idea of, you know, who do we stand at a table with? Because when we stand at a table with others, we're doing so in a way where we understand that, you know, the ones that we see across from us, they are equals. They are there to be able to not only be able to support us on our journey, but again to be able to help support us and being able to rise this wave together, to be able to rise these waters together. There's a beautiful saying that I like to be able to use when it comes to community, and it's basically this idea that as the water rises, so does every ship. And so with this card, it really is about being able to surround yourself with those who are on a quest. Be able to surround yourself with those who embody common virtues, who embody, again, you know, the visions that you hold true within your heart. And when you allow yourself to really begin to connect more of what that means to you, when you really allow yourself to connect with more of the significance of why having people like this in your life is important, then it allows you to not only be able to identify the ones who are already there, but it also allows you to begin to attract those who you have yet to meet. You know, there's kind of like this journey that we have over time where our individual kind of like Knights of the Round Table is something that will form, something that will become more prominent as our journey progresses. And so I love the idea here that, again, you know, it's really emphasizing this concept of dream guides. And so when it comes to dreams, again, the significance here is this idea that, you know, the dream, when you meet a guide within your dream, technically it's you talking to yourself. And so the significance of this Knights of the Round Table concept when it comes to the guides is also being able to acknowledge that even those across from the round table of you, or those who surround the round table, hey Candace, thanks for joining in, they are merely reflections of you. And for me, that's where the concept of a sacred circle is so incredibly powerful, because within this circle, again, it's being able to see yourself in those who surround you, being able to see yourself in those who support you. So, you know, even with this is important to be able to kind of like reflect on who is our circle, who is at our round table with us. And, you know, there's kind of like this basic quote that I forget what it is, but it's basically like you're the sum total of like the 5 people you surround yourself with most. It's not that, but it's basically this idea that, you know, like you are who you surround yourself with. So if you're surrounding yourself with people who are just bitching and moaning and complaining and sitting around and doing the same thing, no shame about that, but don't expect yourself to kind of move beyond it. So if you want to really begin to open up your round table to connect with people who you really resonate, to connect with people who are on a shared mission, that really involves you being able to bring more intention to who it is that you are sitting with at your round table. And so, you know, from a higher dimensional perspective, I love the idea that each and every single one of us has this like group of higher dimensional beings that has literally been assigned to us, or is in some ways even volunteered to be able to serve us. Hey Rebecca, thanks for joining in. And even for those of you right now, you know, I invite you to be able to just reflect within your heart, who is at your round table, And let's just say, you know, it doesn't, you know, sometimes a round table, it usually relates to maybe like 12 or 13, but let's just start small. So if you were to just think like, who is at your round table? Who is there supporting you in your decision making, supporting you on your quest, cheering you on from the stands, supporting you on the dream space as well? And I want you to be able to reflect in this, like even just from the starting point of kind of like the non-physical. So if you were to reflect right now, and let's just say you're visualizing this space within your mind where the round table exists. Who do you want to be at your round table, but also who do you feel is at your round table? So for myself, you know, like I think for myself, I'm like, okay, like I think of like my grandparents, like I feel when I think about connecting with my guides and stuff like that, I always take a moment to be able to kind of like connect with and acknowledge like my ancestors, my grandparents. And then even still, you know, this circle, it can kind of have layers to it. So, you know, there may be generations of those who are at our circle. There may not necessarily be a limit to the amount of beings who are surrounding us, who are here to support us at any given time. And so, you know, beyond even just like my immediate grandparents, I think back on like the lineage of like previous ancestors and how far back that goes, you know, like that's a whole discussion in itself. And again, if anything I say is resonating with you guys, drop those 11 11s in the chat. But I want you to just be open to the idea of being able to know that each and every single one of us is so immensely supported, is so immensely guided. And again, you know, this idea that all your personal Knights of the Round Table to offer you guidance on your current circumstances, goals, and aspirations. Lean on their strength, knowing it is a sign of courage, not weakness, to be buoyed by invisible and visible ones who love you. So with this card, this is a card that really invites us to be able to tap into the inspiration of those who we are surrounded by. And you know, in many cases, like even here within this community, the space that we create here in this community, there have been many events that I have where I like specifically remind each other, it's like this is a round table, this is a circle. And these round tables can be, you know, the one we're talking about here within the card, where it's like the etheric kind of like energetic spiritual round table that's like this group of guides that are assigned to us throughout our lifetimes. Or these circles can just be kind of like momentary circles. But when we do move into these temporary and momentary circles, let us move into them with this intention to be able to grow from each other's strength. And I think that's such a powerful thing, you know, within the power of community. Let the strength of the group be your strength. Let the vision of the group be your vision. So when you tap into a space with others, let it be done so in a way that has the power to really lift you up. You know, and you can experience this where, again, if you're hanging out with a group of people and they're just sitting around bitching and moaning and complaining all the time, it's probably going to be pretty hard to get inspired. But if you suddenly get invited into another group and they're like, hey, like come hang out with us, we're going to like have an awesome potluck and talk about visions and do like some vision boards and, you know, connect with the earth, how is that going to feel different? Again, you know, you allow yourself to be able to move in the collective rhythm with a group, and then the group itself actually becomes this like living organism. The Knights of the Round Table is not just, you know, individual beings. It is literally like an organism in itself, a community in itself. And so, you know, this idea of the Knights of the Round Table, there are going to be kind of like fractals within this concept where you're going to have these small circles, and then you're also going to expand it into bigger circles. And you're going to have these moments where, you know, you realize that each and every single one of us right here, like this is a circle too. This is us gathering as the Knights of the Round Table. And that's something that I really try to be able to bring into the space that I hold. And for those of you who may be new, you know, come back and join in again, and you'll be able to tap into this energy. Because for me, when I talk about the Knights of the Round Table, you know, this is this archetype that I talk about the light guardians, the Jedi Knight, those of us who carry a higher calling to be able to serve a collective shift in consciousness, to be able to again, you know, to really just kind of like move forward in such a way where we carry with us this like deeper grace and confidence and inspiration that is not just ours alone, but it's actually the collective knowing that we are part of the momentum of a group, that we are part of the momentum of a team. So you are never alone. And this card is a very, very powerful reminder. And sometimes, you know, even if you physically may feel like there's not a lot of people, allow yourself to create that space within your heart where you're practicing connecting with your personal guides, where you're practicing connecting with those who are gathered at your metaphysical round table. And then when you do that, you know, just allow that to continue to bring in this feeling of support, this feeling of intuition, this feeling of guidance, this feeling of grace, this feeling of strength. And at the same time, if you're just like, yes, that's one thing, but I also want to be able to connect with people in either the physical or the digital, have that intention, set that intention, because when you put that out, there's this very powerful idea, and I talk about it many times here within the community, but it's basically this idea that you are already connected to the people who you have yet to meet. So if you're feeling, you're like, damn man, I want to find my Knights of the Round Table, then good. Speak that into existence. Send that intention out there. Keep working on yourself, and your vibrational frequency will bring in the presence of your unique round table. So the mantra: with my personal knight by my side, I am protected, loved, lifted, and carried. So again, with this card, you are never alone. The knights are always at your side. In the etheric kind of like spiritual realms, your ancestors, your guides, your archetypes, they are here with you, supporting you at all times. And simply knowing that allows you to tap into that energy that you can carry with us and just kind of like breathe into your heart space. And then again, begin to, if you feel called, bring that more into your physical reality. Bring it more into your physical reality through both like the digital and again the physical outside of the computer world and everything like that. And notice how thus in doing so, it will allow you to really be able to deepen your growth and to expand yourself to new realms that you simply cannot get to if you were to just do it by yourself. Like literally the team will allow itself to move into new realms that the individual may not necessarily be able to reach. You know, it's kind of like this saying, that old African proverb: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So the Knights of the Round Table, they go far and they go together. And yeah, I'm sure Merlin's at your round table too, reminding you of your inner magic. So wrapping up this card here, again, I just gotta be mindful of my throat. Paul, and for anybody else, drop some 1111s in the chat if that resonated with you. Let me know. And yeah, that's a super, super beautiful card. Let their love lift you higher. So let the team, again, as the water rises, so does every ship. Feel the collective energy and the power of community, be that a small community, be it a big community, be it the etheric community. You are a fractal of the whole, and with you, you carry the momentum of the team. It is inside of you at all times. Know that and tap into that, and allow yourself to, if you feel called, you know, you can initiate round tables. You yourself can be like the Arthur and the Merlin and the Guinevere of a new circle. Like you can be like, I call in others to this circle and I create this space where we will support and uplift you. That's what I've been doing. Like I've been doing this for like 10 million years or however, so creating circle, but then also inspiring others to be able to take the wisdom of that circle to go create their own circles as well, building community. So as community, we rise. So drop those 1111s in the chat if this card resonates with you. Thank you again, Paul, for your contribution. We did have another contribution on PayPal, so we're gonna get right into our next reading. And thank you so much to yeah, it was Darren who contributed. Darren, thank you so much for your contributions there. I just want to make sure I'm not missing any here. I think it was just the one from Darren. Perfect. Darren, thank you so much, dude. Darren, if you're still tuned in, go ahead and let us know. We'll get right into the next one. And for this card, I invite you guys to be able to reflect on a quick little affirmation of the teaching of this card. So a quick little affirmation. So a little I am or we are affirmation based on the teaching of this card for you. Like create your own right now. I'll just practice creating my own to be able to like embody this message into your heart. Together with those around me in this dimension and beyond, I am continuing to rise higher into my potential and strength. I am supported with grace and love. So simple, but powerful. So Paul, thank you again for your support on PayPal, for helping make that contribution and that reading possible for the community. Very, very powerful card. And I know there are others who are able to receive that and they're like, man, like, fuck yeah, community, man. Like the team, it's all about the team, man. Ducks fly together. Quack, quack, quack. So Darren says, I would love a reading, and this is such a powerful message, brother. It's so important for us all into this message. Thank you, Darren. Darren, thank you so much for your contribution, Darren. And Darren, you contributed a little bit earlier in the week too, and I just wanted to say thank you again. And Darren, we do have our Dream Circle coming up this Saturday, dude. And again, since you've been contributing and everything like that, if you want to be able to jump in for the Dream Circle, just go ahead and let me know. And again, that's for our members, but again, with the contributions on there, those can always come in a little bit later. So Darren, DM me afterwards if you want to join our Dream Circle discussion tomorrow. And again, that's at 10 a.m., 11 a.m. EDT tomorrow, and that's the one me and Lacey are hosting. And that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that. Like, Lacey's been having some pretty vivid dreams, so I know she's excited to be able to talk about them. So, all right. Let's get ready to move right into our next reading. And thank you again so much, everyone, for joining in. Let me just take care of a couple things behind the scenes here. And Darren, if you're ready for that next reading, go ahead and let me know. And any other affirmations in the chat, we can read those there as well. And Paul, thank you again for your contribution. And I'm glad that reading was one that we got to share with the team there. And let me just check here. I just want to make sure, because I do have a one-on-one reading this afternoon, and I'm just making sure that I'm confirmed for that still. So, and Darren, you can let us know what deck you would like to be able to use. So okay, yeah, so I have up until 2 p.m.ish. So this might be the last reading for today, just depending on the time. Carly, just seeing your message now. So Carly's saying, my dreams have been awesome lately. Can I have a reading? So Carly, again, with the readings today, I feel like it probably, I don't know if I'll be able to fit it in, but Carly, if you can tune in next time I'm live, we can do like the first reading for you, if that makes sense. Like, you know how usually we do like the first reading anyways. So if you want to like facilitate that first reading next time we're live, Carly, that would be cool. And again, Carly's one of our Patreon supporters, so that's an awesome way to be able to help support our supporters as well. So, but yeah, Carly, are you tuning in for the dream discussion tomorrow? So, okay, all right, Darren, let's figure out which deck you would like to use. So again, the Lightworker Oracle deck, Hero's Journey deck, that's the one we just did. Sacred Spirit deck, or the more traditional tarot deck, Ananda tarot deck. So, and I just gotta be mindful of my throat here. I've been talking a lot. My throat gets sore sometimes. I notice that. Like, it's a muscle, man. It gets sore, so I have to be. Some days I'm like, "Welcome to tarot," blah, 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 blah. And then other days I'm just like, "Let's be as gentle as possible." So, all right. Yeah, Carly, if either of the days coming in this week, like Monday or Tuesday or something like that, if you can let me know when you're jumping on, then we can definitely like get you in at like the start of the broadcast for one. And if that works for you, just let me know. Okie dokie. Whew. And if you guys haven't already yet, be sure to connect with Carly. Carly also does some readings on Twitch as well. So I like the idea that we got like a team of tarot broadcasters that are starting to make their way onto Twitch. So, all right, we're gonna do the Hero's Journey deck again. All right, sounds good. I like that one. The descriptions in it, they're not as long. Some of the ones in some of the books are like freaking like chapters long, but cool. All right, let's get right into this. So again, for everybody here, this will be our last reading for today unless there is any extra contributions, but I'll just be mindful of the time. So I'll probably say this is the last one because I need to be able to have a bit of a break before my next reading. So if there are any contributions for today, I would just invite you guys to either just hold off until next time, or just reach out to me through a DM if you guys want to book a private reading, or check out the Patreon and join on the Patreon when it works for you to join our monthly membership. So, okay. All right, Darren is ready. Let's get ready to do this. Okay, perfect. All right, so for everybody here, we're just going to do a quick meditation, drop into our heart space, set that intention, and we'll pull the card from there. So Darren, I know you're familiar with this, so let's get right into this. And thank you again, everyone, so much for joining in. This is it's always exciting doing these broadcasts. I love being able to do it. So okay, here we go. Darren is ready. So for everybody here, when you're ready, gently close your eyes. Soft, gentle inhale. Soft, gentle exhales. Allow yourself to connect with this breath, just anchoring in, grounding into this present moment. Just opening your heart to this beautiful moment of love as you just allow yourself to reflect on gratitude. Gratitude for this space, for this team, for this community, for the messages we are here to receive, and for yourself. With gratitude in your heart for Darren and for everybody here, just allow yourself to be able to reflect on the intention. Show us what we need to see. We being the individual, we being the collective, we being the team. So for Darren and for everyone, speak that intention with your heart. Speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. And imagine this beautiful beam of light just shooting up from where you are into the heavens and anchoring down this wisdom from the stars. And so with that intention in your heart, Darren, take a few more moments here as you just continue to breathe, listen to your intuition, and when you are ready, gently open your eyes and type now into the chat. For everybody else, gently open your eyes now and feel free to type your wizard noises into the chat. Here we go. And with the breath of the air itself, may we continue to see the wings that we spread as we continue to fly to places where we can unlock the gifts within our head and within our heart and our entire being, because there is not a single part of you that does not see, or see with your entire body to be able to unlock the visions that you hold, to be able to understand that each and every single one of you holds the key to this goal and this gold that is hidden within your chest as we open up to discover our best. And so with the magic that is emanating here within the air, I invite you to allow yourself to truly care about the story of those bigger than your own. And so let us continue to open our heart and see what unfolds. And so as we get ready for Darren to drop a now into the chat, there it is, now. I imagine like a shockwave come out when I do that. It's like we split the deck to see what message the universe has. Ooh, oh man, I love the artwork on this one. Ooh, oh, okay, this is very cool. Give me 2 seconds here. All right, the card that we have pulled with Darren helping facilitate. Darren, thank you for your contribution on PayPal. And for everybody here, the card that we have pulled is card number 27. Flip it upside down. Question your beliefs. Card number 27. Flip it upside down. Question your beliefs. Hey, Infinite Gal, thanks for joining in. Let's get ready to move into this reading. Again, for everybody here, this message is for you, and we'll just take a look at the card visually. Look at this image here. When you guys see this image, how does it make you feel? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful image here of this individual, this feminine goddess-like being, putting their hands into what appears to kind of be water, but it's also like a galaxy, as if they're almost like celestial scare. Maybe they're like doing some like magic portal opening spells, and just kind of like reaching into this void space through the portal of light, and these beautiful greens and soft blues and vibrant golds and yellows. Just beautiful, beautiful image there. Again, just explaining it literally. So all right, let's dive a little bit deeper here. I'm going to read from the book, and then we will continue along. Again, I think this is our last reading for today, because I gotta go take a break, and we got our reading with Cami coming up, which is my private reading. But if anybody would like to be able to contribute for any contributions on PayPal or Patreon, go ahead, and I'll do my best to be able to fit it in, if not today, as soon as I'm able to. So you guys said, oh, Infinite Gal says open. Very, very interesting. Yeah, the energies of this card, very cool. All right, let's dive deeper. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, feel free to join in on YouTube. Click the link in my profile, and you guys can tune in there. So allow yourself to open your heart. Any messages that come through, if they resonate, drop an 1111 in the chat. Card number 27. Flip it upside down. Question your beliefs. This is a quote by Viktor Frankl. Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given circumstance, to choose one's own way. The message: what's true in the ordinary world is flipped on its head in the extraordinary world of dreams and the heroic life of magic and miracles. In ordinary life, it's instinctual to run from things that scare you. But when you face those fears in a dream, you increase your personal power. In dreams, the tragedy of fire, flood, and destruction can symbolize rapid change and new birth. If you get stuck in black and white thinking, all you have to do is to flip yourself upside down, literally and figuratively, to see the world from a dream's perspective. When the sky becomes the grounds and the ground becomes the sky, you realize you have forgotten and the ability, you realize you have the freedom and the ability to flip reality on its head. No matter how rigid the belief of experience, it's just waiting for you to turn it around. It's, quote, "it's all his fault" becomes "it's all my responsibility." And "she doesn't love me" transforms into "I am loved more than I could ever perceive." Dream symbol, the dream symbol for this card. Upside down. Dreams of something being upside down indicate that you are opening to a more expansive point of view, seeing and beholding your experience from an out-of-the-box perspective. What may have seemed like the worst thing that could happen could turn out to be a great blessing in disguise. Mantra: when a problem comes along, I must flip it. When I'm upside down, I'm right side up. Super, super, super cool message of this card. Darren, just confirm that you're still here. I know I'm just making sure the YouTube count's kind of fluctuating. I just want to be able to make sure that you're still tuned in. All right, let's dive a little bit deeper. Let's flip things upside down. So, Darren, thank you again for your contribution on PayPal. And again, for everybody tuned in right now, this message is for you. If you happen to be here, then allow yourself to just kind of reflect on the teachings of this card. So, yeah, this is a super cool card, and you know, this card is literally, you know, flip it upside down. But I think another word for this card would literally just be like shift your paradigm shift. And it's funny because even the term paradigm shift, like, a lot of people know what it means now, but there's a period where a lot of people they're like, what does that mean? Like, what does paradigm shift mean? Like, what's a paradigm? Like, I don't know what that is. It's not really a common word that we hear these often. But again, you know, the paradigm is the way we see. It is the perception, it is the lens through which we view the world, or perhaps even just a circumstance. And so in this case, it's really giving us the opportunity to be able to release our attachments to the beliefs that we hold. And there is, I'll share with you guys one thing. Like, this, for me, this has stuck with me since the day I heard it. And I literally heard this like in 2009, way back, so many years ago. But there's like this crazy synchronicity journey that I was on, and I ran into like this beautiful like hippie girl and her boyfriend, and within this moment, these were like some of the first people that I met that were like really starting to like connect with the way I was starting to see things, and like synchronicities were open. I'm like, there's got to be more to this reality and stuff like that, right? And one of the things that she said to me, see everything, believe nothing, or believe nothing, see everything. And what she meant by that was this idea that we have to be very mindful of our beliefs, because beliefs in themselves can also like prevent us from being able to experience new things. Beliefs in themselves can become a cage. Beliefs in themselves can hold up an idea, but at the same time, you know, like, beliefs can be struck away. They can be taken away. You can clear the slate. So really allow yourself to be able to reflect on your relationships with your beliefs. Are you completely married to them? Or are they something that's starting to change? Are they something that's starting to fluctuate? Are they something where, you know, you're just like, currently, this is my understanding. However, I am open to that understanding changing. I am open to it shifting. I am open to it evolving. So rather than saying, this is what I believe, for myself, usually I try to move away from the belief word, and I'll try to say it as like this is my current understanding, or this is my best guess given the information that I have, right? Try to be humble about it. Because a belief, again, almost kind of like, oh, it basically kind of points a soft finger at this idea that you're just like, this is my assumption of what is. However, we know that this world is not as black and white, and what may be a quote unquote belief or a truth to one person from another side could be something completely different. You've probably seen that graphic where you have like a tube, and you see the shadow, and on one side it's a circle and on the other side it's a rectangle. Which is true? Both are true. Can you have the belief that your beliefs are merely a point of view, are merely a perspective? So with this card, and Darren, I see your comment there. It says, "Wow, love the message." And AJ, thank you for tuning in on Twitch. With this card, it's a beautiful opportunity to be able to reflect on how we hold our beliefs. And are you holding your beliefs with the like absolute certainty, or are you holding beliefs in a soft way that allows them to transform? Because one of the most important things that we can give ourselves within this life is the cultivation of adaptability. And you're seeing it right now in a lot of circumstances. A lot of people, their attachment to their beliefs is causing suffering. Like, it's actually preventing them from seeing with an open mind and an open heart. For right now, it's crazy because I've made like a video about this on TikTok a while ago. I feel like I should probably repost it. It's even more relevant now, where it's basically like two people arguing, and they're like you're brainwashed, and it's like, no, you're brainwashed. It's like, you're brainwashed. No, you're just saying that because you're brainwashed. And it's this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth right now. And so again, what's actually happening there is that, on one side or both sides, we have these people, and they are attached to their beliefs. They hold on to their beliefs because they create a structure for this world that gives meaning, and perhaps that meaning actually justifies their feelings, and in some cases actually justifies their anger. So I've experienced this. I've been on the opposite end of this, where in some circumstances, I've had people who in their mind, like, they've like believed like a projection of like who I was, and I'm just like, well, I'm like, I like, that's not true, but they were holding on to this projection, and there was nothing I could do to change it for them. But the reason why they were holding on to it is because it justified their feelings towards me, and in some case like their disdain. Like, I'm sure we've all had this. Everybody has someone who hates them for some reason or another, despite the fact that you're probably just trying to live your life. Like, isn't that such a weird thing? It's like, I'm just over here existing. Like, what's with the hate? Like, what, you see it on internet comments all the time. But again, when people have this belief, subconsciously there's layers to it. Why do they have that belief? Sometimes they literally hold on to this belief because it's actually them pushing away accountability. Because if they were to change their belief, then they might have to change and accept the fact that maybe they were wrong. And if they were wrong, then maybe that means that they have to be responsible for their personal interpretation and reaction, and again, like, how they're handling the circumstance and the situation. So again, this idea that and like literally like what it says here, like this is basically what I was talking about, but in the book, this idea of flipping things upside down, shifting the perspective, changing the way you see things. It's changing things from, in a certain circumstances, perspective of, it's all his fault. It's all his fault. It's your fault that I'm angry. It's your fault that my life is miserable. It's your fault that I'm not happy. Da, 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 da. Instead, you flip that and you realize it's all my responsibility. It's circumstance, but how you adapt, how you react to that circumstance is entirely within your power, right? And so this is where mindfulness really comes in. This is where the ability to be able to reflect and to see, because one of the most dangerous things that we can do as an individual and as a collective is to become narrow-minded. It is to become like so locked into one point of view that we are just closed off from other ways of seeing. And again, thus in closing ourselves off from those ways of seeing, we're also potentially pushing aside our personal responsibility. And if you constantly say that, it's like, oh, it's the government's fault, it's this, blah, 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 scooby-doo, boop, boop, That's an old paradigm. What we're actually seeing right now, hey academic, thanks for joining in. What you are actually seeing right now within the collective shift in consciousness is people realizing that they need to flip things upside down. And we are shifting from an era where people placed their governance on something outside of themselves, to now things are flipping, and now people are starting to realize that their governance is an internal process. They will stop looking to external sources to govern them, and they will start cultivating more sovereignty. So when you relate to this card and when you allow yourself to question your beliefs, you're creating a way of being able to live like water. You're creating a way in which things become much more malleable, but also much more liberating. Hey Trevor, thanks for tuning in. But it's sometimes also a little bit scary, because when you allow yourself to know that your beliefs could change in any moment, it also opens you up to the idea that, hey, maybe there were some things that you thought were true that maybe are no longer true, and maybe they were true from a certain point of view, you know? So it's like, Anakin, like, blah blah blah, you said the Jedi were evil. It's like, they are evil from a certain point of view. Of course everything has a certain point of view to it. So pay attention to where you are viewing things from. And if you are just viewing things from one perspective, flip it. Flip it and try and see it from another perspective. Because when we allow ourselves to that, we open our hearts to a deeper level of empathy, not just for ourselves, but for those around us. And instead of being in this circumstance where right now we're seeing this in this world, and so much of the conflict in this world is because so many people are literally just married to their perspective, and they're not allowing themselves to see it from another person's point of view. And it's literally just this conflict of beliefs and perspectives. Like literally we're seeing it right now. It's just like, this is my belief, blah 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 blah, and blah blah blah, blah. Like it's that. And that's where, again, that's what they want us to do. They want us to be at war with each other. They want us to fight each other, because when we are constantly refusing to be flexible with how we see things and how we empathize things, and we will constantly find ourselves in a place of suffering, because it's impossible to live a life where you will expect everyone to see things as you do. That's just not realistic. That's not logical in a lot of ways. So can you expand your perception? Can you expand your consciousness? Can you begin to get good at getting curious, to questioning your beliefs, and beginning to open up the idea that you can see things from multiple perspectives, and your beliefs in themselves may be something much more malleable. They should be malleable. How do you hold your beliefs? Are they something that you are attached to and you will not waver on them, and you will carry them with you until your grave, and at least you'll die on your bed and you'll be like, at least I was right about that one thing that I argued with every single fucking day? That's up to you. Like, that's the thing with this card. This card is a choice. But with it, I think we need to make the responsible choice. And the responsible choice is to be able to question things, to question our own beliefs, to see things from multiple perspectives, to begin to compile our wisdom and information to a point where we can understand that there may be multiple truths. There may be multiple answers to a certain circumstance, but the one answer that is and should always be true is that at the end of the day, you are responsible for how you react. Again, this quote here, the last freedoms is to choose one's attitude in a given circumstance. So how do you choose your attitude? And again, when it comes to the circumstances in your life, again, it kind of goes back to this idea of like, you know, like, oh, is it happening to me or is it happening for me? And so what can appear as, you know, a curse can eventually become a blessing. And honestly, I'll tell you with absolute certainty right now that in 10 years from now, we will look back at this point in history and we will say, wow, things would not be where they are now if it wasn't for what happened then. And so right now, here within our heart, we really have to be able to continue to hold this perspective and to flip our vision to be able to see from that higher plane that even though right now what is happening is not a pleasant thing, it is also one that is being able to liberate us into a new level of consciousness. Something that is crumbling is making room for something new that is growing. And with that, instead of just saying like, oh, it's everyone's fault that this is crumbling and things are happening and this is your fault and this is your fault and fuck you and fuck me too, instead, what if each and every single one of us began to cultivate more of a responsibility? And instead of it becoming this thing where it's me versus you and you versus them and them versus this, instead, it's no one versus no one. It's us versus the situation, and not even versus. It's just us moving through the circumstances. It's us versus the problem. And yet, within the problem is the solution. Something to meditate on. Within the problem is the solution. When you are aware of a problem, pay attention, because that also means you are consciously, be it unconsciously or higher consciously, aware of the solutions. Hey, Wild Woman Awakening, thank you so much for tuning in. Samira, thank you so much. One of our newer Patreon supporters, just dropping in on TikTok there. This is a super cool card. Samira, I wish you were tuned in here just 30 minutes earlier. We were riffing on this card huge. But again, this card, all about being able to question our beliefs, begin to question how you relate to your beliefs. Do you hold on to them, or do you allow yourself to be much more like water, where your beliefs can change, your beliefs can shift? And do you even use the word beliefs? Again, I think the word beliefs is a word that can be very weighted, because when you use the word belief, sometimes people attach that to like an ideology. And they're like, this is my belief. This is my identity. And so like, is that what you're doing? Are you literally structuring your identity around your belief? And maybe there's another way of being able to change that. Instead of just saying, this is my belief, instead just say, this is how I see. This is how I currently see. This is my perception. And over time, that perception may change. This is what I align myself with. I think you can say, this is what I care about with certainty. Like that should really be what you're focusing on. Instead of just saying, oh, this is what I believe. Instead, focus on, this is what I care about. This is what's important to me. This is what I am working towards. And this is everything else around that, it's merely just a matter of perception. The beliefs can become a support system for something, but what happens when somebody comes along and knocks down that support system? Who will you be on that day? And so if your beliefs are holding up your identity, then I'm sorry, but you're in for a rude awakening, because one of these days those beliefs will get taken out and you're probably going to get tossed into an existential crisis. And that may not be a bad thing, but it'll give you a chance to really begin to reflect on what is true to you. And ultimately, what is true is the idea that perception is a multifaceted thing. And there are many ways to see things. There are many ways to be able to relate to things. But at the end of the day, if you are constantly moving through this reality and placing blame on other people and saying it's this fault, it's this fault, this fault, this fault, and instead use it as an opportunity to be able to say, it is my responsibility. And it is my responsibility to choose how I am going to respond to these circumstances. And again, if each and every single one of us can continue to cultivate more of that sovereignty of how we relate to our beliefs, and how we move through this world without pushing our perceptions on each other, but instead cultivating that perception with as much clarity as possible, willing to change it when it's relative, and then inviting others to be able to do the same, and beginning to remove this is a whole conversation itself, beginning to like remove like the veils and the illusions and the dirt and the dust and the crap and the bullshit, and then allowing ourselves to really be able to see. So it's interesting that, like, again, like the word beliefs, it's kind of a weird word when you look at it. It's like be lie. It's like be lie. Like maybe this might be a lie. Like, is that basically what we're saying? Like a belief. Oh, this is a belief, but it might be a lie. Like maybe what's a belief tomorrow may actually turn out to be a lie. Oh, what's that? You believe that your government actually cares about you? Yeah, come back in a couple weeks, cause that might be a lie. So I'll just riff it on you guys. But seriously though, like that's like 100%. If that resonates with you, drop an 11 in the chat, because that's what's happening right now. A lot of people, like, they're struggling right now because they're just like, this is what I used to believe, and now suddenly that belief is like they're in like this cognitive dissonance where it's like, no, it's still true. It has to be true because my identity is based upon it. And then, you know, lo and behold, it might not be true. But if it's not true, then that's also a very liberating thing, because it's just like, good, let's flip the switch, let's flip things upside down, and tabula rasa, give you an opportunity to really begin to start seeing things from a new place of personal empowerment. So drop an 1111 if that resonates with you guys into the chat. Yeah, this beautiful message is so appreciative. Thank you, Carly. Thank you, Cosmic Carly Annette. Carly, I didn't know is Annette your middle name? That's such a beautiful name. Thank you, thank you again to Samira for joining in on TikTok. If you guys aren't following Wild Woman Awakening on TikTok, be sure to check that out. You'll see a Samira around a little bit more into the community as one of our leading members coming up. And yeah, what we'll do here, drop those 1111s in the chat and let me know. Take a moment here to be able to write out an affirmation based on the teaching of this card, based on the message of this card, even if you came in partway through. Again, the message here being able to question your beliefs and develop more of that flexibility and that malleability to know that, again, like I said before, see everything, believe nothing. That was a quote that was passed on to me by a good friend, and I'm like, whoa. And I've carried that with me throughout my entire spiritual awakening. I'm like, there are certain things where I'm like, this is my current best guess. And then like 2 months later, it's just like, oh, my best guess has now evolved instead of it being this was my belief. So, all right. Little affirmation into the chat. Take a moment here. Little I am, we are affirmation to anchor in this energy into your own field, to show that you are paying attention. So I'll just share one within my own heart. I am continuing to develop deeper responsibility with the ways in which I perceive the world. My perception is that of flexibility as I open my heart to be able to see and understand from multiple perspectives, seeking for the point of view that will continue to nurture and inspire my heart to the highest growth, so I can continue to ignite my light and serve others along the way. So, mantra: when a problem comes along, I must flip it. When I'm upside down, I'm right side up. Isn't that song, like that Whip It song? It's like, when a problem comes along, you must flip it. When a you must flip it. Flip it, flip it good. Is that am I doing it right? I feel like that should be the actual lyrics. So it's like whip it, but it's like flip it. Like if there's a problem coming along, again, you know, I've said this before, in any circumstance, you have the choice to be able to see things from an empowering perspective or a disempowering perspective. It is literally a choice in any circumstance. Doesn't mean it's going to make it any less crappy, but that choice will always be there. How you react will always be there. So, all right, team. Let me just check in. I just want to be able to see. I have a private reading coming up at 2. I'm just waiting to hear back from them. I might not hear back from them right away, but I think what I'll have to do, just to be safe, I think I'm actually going to jump off. Go take a break. We've been on air here for 2 hours, more than 2 hours. So I'm gonna go rest my my throat chakra for a bit. And again, for those of you who are here, we'll be back here again. And please feel free to leave your gratitude in the chat with how that resonated with you. Darren, thank you so much for your contribution on PayPal for helping initiate that reading. Samira, thank you so much for joining in. We can do an on-air reading for you next time that we're live on air as well. And I know, Carly, you wanted to be able to get an additional reading as well. Carly said, dang, that's good. Yeah, should we do that? Remix that song? So again, for anybody who's here, just another quick reminder, if you guys want to be able to connect further with this community, be sure to check out our Patreon. That's our membership portal, our membership Patreon there. And we got some awesome stuff coming up. For the Patreon members, we got the Dream Circle tomorrow, 11 a.m. EDT. There will be a recording for that. So if you guys are able to join in for that, the link was already posted in the Discord and through the Patreon. So if you're signed up for the Patreon, just check the last email that I sent out, and you'll see the Zoom link there. But if you guys have any questions, just send me a DM. And again, if you guys haven't checked out the Patreon yet, feel free to do so. See what tier on there resonates with you. And again, support there supports not just me, it supports Lacey, it supports our baby still on the way. And again, if you guys want to join at the $33 level on the Patreon, you guys can also get one of the Light Guardian crystals that I hand make as a special bonus gift at the $33 level. Just ask that you pay shipping. So if you have signed up at the $33 level, just send me a DM and just let me know, and then we can just figure out the extra shipping on that. It's usually just like $10 for shipping, so it's not a big deal. And yeah, if there's any questions that you guys have about the Patreon, feel free to let me know. I'll be back here with my regular schedule, Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. EDT. I may be live on the weekends some days. I'm live here in the morning, but then there are some days where I'm just like, oh, it's like 11 at night. I guess I'll go hang out on Tarot. And there's like the late night crowd. It gets goofy in the nighttime, I swear. I mean, it's pretty goofy during the day. I'm not going to lie. You must flip it. Sorry, that's songs in my head now. I'm going to have to like actually listen to the song. Be like, holy shit, that actually makes sense. So yeah, if you guys want to contribute there, go ahead and check that out. And contributions process on the 1st of each month. So anything you sign up for today won't process until October 1st. And yeah, I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm going to go take a break. We've been on here for 2 hours, so I'm just going to honor my energies. But again, I would encourage you guys to go check out the new podcast from yesterday. Spotify, Paradigm Shift Radio. Go listen to the conversation me and Sharon had, and all about like ET contact and spiritual awakening. Really, really cool stuff. So Samira, thank you so much for joining in, and thank you again everybody on all platforms. We'll just hang out here just for one more moment for you guys to be able to share any gratitude. If anybody wants to be able to share any of their Instagram handles in the YouTube chat, go ahead and do that. And Darren says, thank you for the Dream Circle. I have a one-on-one session around that time, but I would love to watch the recording. Perfect, Darren. And definitely would love to be able to. The Dream Circle is like twice a month, so next one would be September 24th. So just giving you a heads up on that. And yeah, Darren, I'll send you a DM, and we can definitely again just kind of like talk about getting synced up and stuff for some more things coming up. So yeah, so if you guys are looking to connect with our team of conscious creators, if you are a conscious creator, if you guys are looking to be able to connect with our team of conscious creators, send me a DM on Instagram, but also check out the Patreon and check out the membership option there. And yeah, even if you guys just want to order anything from the shop, you can check out the item shop, Quest item shop, links in my profile. You can order some Light Guardian crystals or order anything else with the discount from the Patreon as well. And yeah, lots more awesome opportunities still to come, and feel free to connect to our Discord. And with that said, we'll wrap it up. So sending you guys so much love. For those of you on TikTok and Twitch, if you just followed me, if you just tuned in on Twitch, feel free to follow. I'll be live here again Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. EDT, and sometimes for the late night owls. And yeah, it's always a pleasure and an honor. Feel free to connect to my Instagram. Lots more cool stuff there. And I think that's about it. So cool. All right, I'm gonna go get some lunch. I'll be around, and I'll see you guys as always. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you so much, and flip it. Flip it good. Keep those beliefs malleable, and keep your heart open. And yeah, so grateful to be able to have you guys here within this team. So, all right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and as always, much love. Keep it shifty, and welcome to the future. See you guys soon. Go listen to that episode on Spotify, Paradigm Shift Radio. Have